Global City is also known as World City, Alpha City or World Center. In geography and global studies, globalization refers to the largely created, facilitated, and geographic areas based on the significance of global system of finance and trade. Global City is the center of numerous globalization course where there exists population concentration and mixing. The intertwined flows of people, capital, and ideas are lived and experienced by the people in a global city. Large, diverse cities that attract people, material and cultural products worldwide.
An important characteristic of a global city is the presence of cosmopolitan variety of cultural products, which satisfy the cross-cultural curiosity of people. That cosmopolitan consumption in all its richness and variety that a global city can offer requires time and money. Global city is both a dream and a nightmare. Indeed, it is a huge source of attraction to migrants and tourists, and yet this can also be a source of inequalities and inequities in the society. There are high living professionals with greener pastures, yet undeniably, which may not be visible to sight, are the marginal dwellers, sweatshop workers, poorly paid labor in great areas, asylum seekers and undocumented immigrants, drug dealers, sex workers, and homeless. The concept of a global city is a phenomenon which was preceded by the idea of world city is originated as early as 1927 by Roderick Mackenzie, a Chicago academician. This is considered as the centers of imperial power or the free cities, the crossroads of international merchants routes which prevailed since ancient times.
Only 5% of the New York residents composed the global cities at the start of the 20th century, which later grew to 30% by the late 1980s. Qualified Square 2010 elaborated that these knowledge workers are not necessarily part of the core wealth and power elite of global capitalism, but these are a globally mobile, career-minded middle class. Sassen 1991 stressed that these global cities are inevitably resulting to occupational and income polarization, with the highly paid professional class on the one end and the providers of low-paid services on the other. Author at 2006 mentioned that the labor market of global cities is increasingly hourglass-shaped with a hollow middle as depicted in the polarization of housing markets.
The globalization paradigm evolved since 1980s, and it has developed conceptual and ideological disputes. The importance of nation-states can be discounted. However, the impact of global macro processes in everyday lives of people is also increasing. These are ignited by the global forces from the economic, geopolitical, cultural, and environmental aspects. Every global city is also a national city, which oftentimes goes beyond the host nation. Saskia Sassen, 1991, identify only three global cities, namely New York, London, and Tokyo. The choice was mainly based on economic standard. According to Sassen, global cities are the command centers, the main nodes of triumphant global capitalism. Who 2000 discussed that the focus of production in a global city is no longer primarily material. It, it seems that one of the conditions of the status of global city is to stop making things and switch to handling and shifting money and ideas. These global cities are undeniably post-industrial. For instance, Shanghai was previously state-controlled socialist industrial powerhouse which claimed its global city status when the chimneys started to be replaced by steel and glass skyscrapers.
Characteristic of a global city. It involves cultural diversity, cosmopolitanism, movement of people, capital, ideas, and creativity, imagination and urban consciousness, and symbolic productivity. There is creativity, fluidity, and productivity. It is opposed to the mythological nationalism, where the nation states serve as container which are static and bounded. It is primary economic, financial versus geopolitical, cultural, and environmental experiences. Global city, hypermobility, homogenization, and differentiation. The differentiation, insertions, and engagements with the global city involve the high-rolling capitalists and high-end professional vis-a-vis and marginalized brands, sweet shops, and gray economy. This impacts the flow of finance, goods, people, ideas, model, and etc. Significant features of a global city. Geographic dispersal of economic activities, simultaneous integration that feed the growth and importance of central corporate functions. Central functions increasingly complex headquarters of large global firms outsource them from highly specialized service firms. Headquarters outsource their most complex, understandized functions, those subject to uncertain or changing markets, thus can for any location. Specialized service firms need to provide a global service, which has meant a global network of affiliates, strengthened cross-border, city-to-city transactions and networks. Economic fortune of these cities become increasingly disconnected from their broader hinterlands or even their national economies, and growing the informalization of economic activities which find their effective demand in these cities, yet have profit rates that do not allow them to compete for various resources with the high profit making firms at the top of the system.